Hey there, YouTube. Today I'm going to bring you a video, kind of something different than I usually do. This time I'm going to do some more of a deck discussion video rather than just like a sort of like a deck review. Today I'm going to bring you my first in a few videos I'll do about Chainburn. Now, specifically, one of the reasons I'm doing this is when I went to regionals last weekend, I noticed there were actually quite a few Chainburn decks there, but I noticed that a lot of them weren't doing it very good. I'd look over and I'd see like this guy out of cards, or like he only set one card and he didn't have many cards in his hand, and like I know a lot of them didn't do very well, or at least that's what I think. I mean, it was the Illinois Regional on the 8th. Feel free to prove me wrong. I'd like to see I like Chainburn, even though it's kind of a trolly deck. It's an interesting one. But one of the things I noticed is that even like the one that topped just recently in the last YCS was still using like sort of like things I wouldn't like in a Chainburn deck, just like too many like. He had one of the main problems I see in Chainburns. This is, I guess, like he just had a good side, or just had a good day, or just knew his deck well. So I'm not bashing the guy. It's just when I see the deck, it's just I see some major flaws in it that can be fixed. One of the things I see in Chainburn deck building is a messed up ratio of draw, stall, and burn cards. Now, what I mean by this is that if you have too little or too many of one of these three, your deck is going to fail. Let's say you have too many draw cards. You are spending all of your turns using your draw cards to draw into more draw cards, and your stall, and not enough of your burn, and basically you'll waste each turn doing a big chain of a bunch of draw cards, drawing more cards, and then there you go. It's like you might as well be playing Zodi at that point if you run too many draw. If you run too much stall, again you're detracting. Each stall card you add detracts from the other two sections, and it just means the more stall you have, the less draw, the less burn you have, and you're basically spending your turns stalling instead of burning and drawing. And then burn, if you have too many burn cards, you don't have enough survival and replenishment to add more cards to your hand so that you can keep burning them. I mean, the Chainburn, a lot of Chainburn decks like use kind of just like the best chainable burn cards that there are out at the moment. There are only so many. There's a few like questionable ones and some interesting ones out there, but usually Chainburn uses like the 15 or so best ones that you can get a hold of. Now there are some kind of medians in between this, like for example, 1 day apiece, which is each player draws a card and then neither player takes damage to the end of your opponent's next turn, which is a stall and draw card, which I enjoy in the deck. As soon as I realized like what plays with this could actually do. At first I thought, oh well, your opponent draws a card and neither of you can take damage, so you're not burning. But that's the thing. In Chainburn, every single draw they get makes the deck so much more dangerous. And 1 day apiece immediately replaces itself and thins the deck, but also carries you to the next turn, because there's no way they can get past this unless they negate the initial activation. So basically they'll just sit there. Your opponent, you basically don't even have to commit anything to the field. Your opponent can just like draw cards, and then that's just more things for Secret Barrel and Just Desserts. And then like it carries you to the next turn, which is another card, which is basically 1 day apiece ensures you replaces itself and then ensures you one more draw, like 100% assurance unless they negate it, and really if they dark bribe you, then awesome. They wasted their dark bribe on this. If they solemn judgment, laugh because they wasted half their life points. But that's one point I wanted to make. And another one is there's also Marshmallow. which is a stall burn card. Obviously, some decks can get over this easy, like Agents and Dark World easily have effects that they can just drop to get rid of stuff. But some things like Dino Rabbit, which is running pretty popular right now, they can't do much against Spirit Reaper. So that means they can't do much against Marshmallow either, and they'll just run smack dab into it and have 1,000 deaths to them. Like maybe if they have the one Walking Divine Wrath, which his name I can't remember at the moment, when if it attacks Marshy and it flips, then they're going to take the 1,000. But honestly, for the most part, if they know they're playing Chain Burn, they're never going to summon that thing. They're more likely going to summon the other one in hopes that they negate a key card in your chain. So you can just sit on Marshy for some turn again for a bunch of turns against some decks, and it's just you'll eventually kill them. But in a little bit more detail, each one is that, like, one of the things I see that a lot of Chain Burn decks are running is that they're still running Jar Greed alongside all of the other draw cards, and I don't like that just because, like, it just seems like it's too much. It is too much draw and not enough of the other two spheres. I run Greed. I run 3 Greed, 3 Accumulated Fortune, 3 One Day Apiece, 3 Pod Duality, and 3 Legacy Agarsu. I still run Legacy because if my opponent ever summons a spirit like King Kaboyo and like a Mystic Piper deck or something like that, I'm going to go to town on it and get a free Pot of Greed. And so, like, it's like I have plenty of draw. I've done test hands with this, and it does great. It's like I have enough draw. I can consistently, at least according to my test draws, I can consistently win in a few turns. Or if I have enough stall to survive. In stall, you really shouldn't have too much. Like, really, I have my 1 Marshy, I have 3 Swift Scarecrows, and by the way, if you had, I probably discussed this in my last video, I can't remember, but Swift Scarecrow over Battle Fader always, because you don't need the monster, and they can warning your Battle Fader, and that means if they warning your Battle Fader while they're attacking with something that would kill you, then there you go. Usually, one of the other things I also like to mention about doing stall is that you should actually wait until, like, it becomes like it would be a dangerous amount of life points, and then you block them, and then you block them. Don't, like, waste it on, like, oh, he's attacking me with just 119, I'm still at 8,000. Oh, it's Scarecrow. Just don't do that. Don't be scared of taking some life points. You'll be protecting against most of it. And then, like I said, also burn. If you have too many burn, you're spending all of your cards burning, and really your chain, like I said, but Chain Burn runs the best draw cards, the best burn cards available to them, and the rest are just kind of iffy, like things like the one trap that you roll 2 dice and then do the average. I don't like that one. You have to have no hand to activate it, and a lot of times I like to keep cards in my hand for, like, later chains, but I'll get into that later. That's just one thing, is that you just have to make sure that you have a happy medium between all 3. Obviously, draw and burn are going to be your main 2 focuses, and then stall should take up, like, only a little bit of room, but enough room that it saves you. But that's this one for today. So that's I will go into more later. I'll do some more things about, like, how you should actually play the deck, how you should actually make their chains, when you should make chains, stuff like that. And then I'll also go into the side deck. But if you haven't seen my deck profile video, check that out. Try the deck out for yourself if you're finding, like, all the crazy decks are too much for you. Make them pay for it by beating them with an incredibly cheap deck. Alright, this is KR Super 87, out for now.